welcome back to our channel. I have Brayden with us today. My name is Brittany. If you guys are new here, make sure you guys hit that subscribe button. Today we're going to do a little bit of a story time. So we're going to talk about when Brayden had something stuck in his throat. So if you don't want to know what that is, what he swallowed, stay tuned. You ready?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah.
You're ready? Okay. So I don't know if Brayden remembers any of this. He was 3 years old. I was actually pregnant with Dominic at the time. And Brayden was staying home with my father-in-law. And me and Brandon worked for the same company like we do now. And we were in separate departments. And I got an email from him and he said, "Hey, my dad said Brayden swallowed something. It's stuck in his throat. He's kind of gray and he needs you to come home." And he put in there that he kept trying to throw up, and wow! I'm super pregnant at the time, super like emotional, and in my mind I'm like, okay, he's gray, he's lost his color, like he's choking, he's dying is what was in my head. So I ran upstairs to where Brandon is, and I talked to him about what's going on. Oh my goodness. And he was gonna have me leave by myself, and I asked him, I was like, I can't drive, like I'm crying, I'm upset, I'm scared. So he decided to leave with me. I ran downstairs. I told my boss. We drove home. I get there and Brayden is covered up in a blanket, like shivering, laying on the chair, just like all of his color's gone. And he's breathing fine. He's trying to throw up, so I know he can breathe. He's not actually choking. He just had something stuck in his throat. We found out it was a Lego. And the funny thing is my niece had asked to stay home that day, which she normally did not do. And are you hungry? He usually didn't stay home. And it turned out that her and Brayden were playing around with some Legos. Are you gonna eat? We're playing around with some Legos. He was messing around with one in his mouth and somehow it went down his throat. So he got a Lego piece stuck in his throat. You wanna show him?
Yeah. Can I open it?
We still have it. I saved it. No, don't open it.
Okay. So it's right in there, that little red piece, that's the Lego.
Let's turn it. So it's like a little Lego
like it looks
body.
like a Ninjago piece.
Yes.
Like a red Ninjago.
This whole thing was stuck in his throat. So we came home, we grabbed him. I decided that we weren't going to call 911 because he was breathing okay. I figured it was just really uncomfortable for him, so we took him to the ER. The whole way there was terrible. He kept like trying to throw up. Like every couple of minutes, he was just like gagging. Not really anything but spit was coming out. And he was very lethargic. Do you remember at all?
No. The only thing that I remember is when I was 3. I was just in Papa's bed, and the Legos right on Mama's desk when and I grabbed it and I put it in my mouth and swallowed it, and then I told Papa, and then I puked, and then he took me to the bathroom and I had to puke.
Yeah.
That's the only thing that I remember.
Oh. So we got to the ER and they were kind of busy. They were going to make us wait for a while, which I was frustrated about and Brandon was frustrated about. They did Brayden's oxygen levels. It was perfect. He was normal, so he was breathing fine. But he kept trying to throw up, so then they decided that they were going to get him back sooner. They took him back and they did an x-ray, and of course it's not metal, so they couldn't see much of it. They could see like a little tiny bit of it. And they knew that it was like literally right here. And they said that was probably like really causing him a lot of discomfort. He kept falling asleep, which they said was fine because his oxygen levels were fine and he was hooked up to machines, so he was being monitored the whole time. And then they decided that they would do a scope, which they just take a little thing down his mouth and into his throat, and they were either going to pull it out or push it through. So she said that if she could, it was an ENT, she said that if she could grab it and pull it out, she would. If she couldn't, then she would just push it through and he would have to poop it out. Which would not have been very fun. So they took us back to like the pre-op area. They got him ready, and I'm pretty sure he was sleeping, which is why it was so easy to get him back there, because you can only walk them up to, like, there's like a little red line you can't cross. So we walked him up to there. They took him back, and the scope was about 10 minutes. It was super quick. Me, Brandon, and my mother-in-law just kind of waited around, and then she came to get us, and only one person could go back with him. That person was me. That person was me. So I went back and what are you doing?
She's just looking at me. She's like, "You swallowed a Lego? I hope I never."
I went back and sat with him. He was pretty good back there. He was just kind of out of it. They gave him a blue popsicle. He said his throat hurt a little bit, but they were obviously able to get it out because they gave it to us. And this sits in his memory box. I'm gonna keep this forever.
I want to keep it so I can remember.
Maybe when you're older.
Yeah.
When you're older, you can have all the stuff from your memory box.
I don't have a memory box.
Yeah, you do. I have it for you.
See the fly? That's the fly
It's
I
okay.
was talking about.
So they gave him a blue popsicle, and then instead of just letting him go home right after that, they decided to admit him. They wanted to make sure that he would eat something before he left. So we hung out at the hospital for like 3 hours after, and he happened to have no clothes on. All he had was underwear, because that's how we brought him in. I think he had a shirt too, but his shirt had like barf all over it. I don't know. So we strolled out of there with little 3-year-old Brayden in his underwear. Brandon carried him out on his shoulders. I have a picture of it. I'll try and find it and put it in here because Daddy carried you out on his shoulders. And then we got to go home, and that was it. But we got this little memory thing. Seriously, like the scariest day of my life. All I could think the whole time was like, oh my God, he's going to die. He's choking. Why isn't somebody calling 911? It was terrible. It was so scary.
I'm happy that I have my color back. Yay! And I can breathe.
So you don't remember any of it?
Nope.
You don't remember being in the hospital, going back for them to take it out?
Oh, I have one more memory. The time when I was like all the stuff coming out of my mouth when I was laying down at the hospital.
Uh-huh.
Like the puke. Yeah, that's the second thing
Yeah.
Yeah.
You could tell he didn't feel good too, and that it was like bothering him because he literally just like laid there. I have pictures of it. But he literally just like laid there on the hospital bed, just like laying there, doing nothing.
I didn't want to get up.
Nope.
I was just like.
Yep. Exactly.
I was just like, get me up, please.
You didn't even talk at all. You just laid there.
Oh, did I wake up?
Well, yeah, you were awake, and then you kept trying to go to sleep, which the doctors said was fine.
Oh.
Yeah.
Is that the end of the video?
I think so. All right, guys, that is it for today's video. We hope you liked it. Give it a thumbs up and hit that notification bell.
Don't forget to subscribe.
And we will see you guys next time.
Bye.